All right, folks, welcome back to the Night's Watch. I'm Jacob.
I'm Alex.
And we actually have some news to talk about. It's been a while. It's been the crushing nothingness of the off season.
Slowly getting into, training camp. We're just waiting for that to start up.
Oh, God. It's. I think I was kind of joking with you earlier. I'm a Halloween boy. Mm-hmm. I love Halloween. This is the time of year where Halloween decorations start popping up in the store. But in the back of your mind, you're like, it's so far away, dude.
Legit. It's August. It's the middle of August.
You can start selling the decorations, but it is so painfully far away. And that's kind of how I feel about hockey.
Oh yeah, it's so close. You see the rookie face off in mid-September. I'm just like, yeah, it's my birthday, but I'm like, the first preseason game isn't still until the end of September. What are we doing?
Think of it this way: this is the last month without hockey.
I love it. I'll take it.
And we're already halfway through it.
We're almost there. We're
close. Already halfway through it.
We're right there.
And I think the fact that we have some news to talk about is kind of reflecting that, front offices are getting back in the swing of things. Summer vacation's over.
Yeah. Saw the new Center Ice logos.
Yeah. They posted this a couple days ago. I think I like it. To me, I'm more of a fan of the last few designs where the circle was completely filled. Mm-hmm. This is kind of going back to the, border, then logo and, white ice in between. That being said, I don't hate it. There's a lot of fun details. It seems to be kind of inspired by the dragon theme. There's a lot of dragon scale and spikes and stuff. What I really love is, did you see the red line?
Yeah, it was the state of Nevada.
It was
the red line. That was pretty cool.
It was alternating between the shape of Nevada and then the shape of the the main logo shield. Mm-hmm. And then they someone pointed this out. This is one of the first times an NHL team did a red line where when it goes through the logo, basically it's hollow. The red line is hollow in the middle, and then it's just the two red lines. I don't know. It's hard to describe over audio.
Right.
But if you look it up, I think you'll see what I mean. I think it's cool. I'm excited.
No, it's cool. It's a cool logo.
At the very least, it's a sign that the season is coming a little closer.
Exactly. Yeah, we're only from the first preseason game, maybe a month out.
Quite literally, I think exactly a month or so.
Exactly.
Maybe a few days. All right. So some other news. Ilya Samsonov, Sammy.
Yep.
Our new goalie. He got into a little bit of a social media beef, I guess. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to figure out what happened. It wasn't immediately evident, mainly because I think this comment that he left was probably meant for a burner account, Durant style. Mm-hmm. But basically, there was a post listing the top, however many goalies of the NHL, and they had Linus Ullmark at number 10. Ullmark, formerly of the Boston Bruins, now of the Ottawa Senators.
Yep. Sammy
left a comment. Initially, number 10, Hart, looked very sweet and supportive. And then he responded to that comment with his own account. Again, I'm guessing it was meant for a burner account. Mm-hmm. And he said, quote unquote, "You better shut your ass on November 21st unless you are injured again." So, if you check, Vegas and Ottawa play each other on November 21st. So obviously it seems like he's has some shit to settle with Ullmark.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't sure what that was until I saw someone posted that earlier this summer Ullmark was on a Sens podcast and he said something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, when Boston was playing Toronto, I was a little confused as to why they kept playing Samsonov because he wasn't good.
Right.
Wall was better." I think that maybe they would have won if they played Wall instead of Samsonov. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Samsonov took to that very kindly. And frankly, I would not either.
No, I agree. That's saying, that's a direct call out. Oh, you were terrible this game. Why would you play that?
Not even one game, multiple games. I don't know. I don't remember what game they finally switched goalies, but
Right.
Basically, he was talking shit subtly, and Samsonov responded. I don't know how you feel, but personally, I love a little bit of a piss and vinegar.
I love it.
Not so much when Leonard did it. When Leonard did it, it felt a little bizarre and scary.
Yeah,
But
this Leonard was
feel-
actually a crazy person, whereas this is more like, oh yeah, we're a rivalry and like we're talking shit, like we're going back and forth. Like whereas Robin Leonard is like, you might be low key afraid of like him killing you.
Yeah.
He might show up at your fucking house, fucking strangle you. Whereas this is like, oh yeah, we're talking shit, we're having fun.
Yeah, and I don't know what the relationship is, but I was like, this is just some good old fashioned shit talking.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but
don't mind it. It's fun.
I 100% hope that Sammy starts on November 21st.
I do too.
And I sincerely hope that we beat the Senators.
Yeah, I have hopes in Samsonov. I think Sean Burke really can get him going.
Agreed. Unlike Toronto, I think we'll be playing some stout defense in front of them. So.
100%, and meaningful games in the stretch.
Yes.
And the other big thing is the Blues. I think the Blues low-key might be my secondary favorite team now.
I have been laughing my ass off at this news since
they are fucking just little devils that we don't talk about. They did hit an offer sheet on both Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg.
Of the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, they hit them 2 RFAs for the Oilers. Good, young, talented players. And
extremely talented.
And
extremely
they
good
hit
players.
them with some offer sheets.
Good offer sheets.
They deserve, and also should be noted, Edmonton is, without those contracts, they're already over the cap.
Yeah, and
so this is
even with putting Evander Kane on LTIR, they have to move multiple contracts to get both of these guys under contract.
Yeah, and for any fans that don't know, an offer sheet is basically Edmonton had these 2 restricted free agents. They had neglected, I would say, to sign them to deals already.
Totally agree.
This deep in the summer. Philip Broberg, I know we've talked our shit on him in the day, but I say at the end of the day, he's a young, I think 23-year-old defenseman.
Very, very young.
And
young enough to get an RFA deal.
Yeah, and he showed a lot of promise this last year, including in the playoffs where they played him a lot, and they had their little Cinderella run to the finals. Obviously, someone you want to keep. Good young defenseman. I know we've clowned on him in the past, but he's young. He's
young. He's better than what's on that team right now.
He has a lot of potential, and he's the kind of player that they desperately need to hold on to. Mm-hmm. And this is why I think that these 2 offer sheets were really a stroke of fucking genius by the Blues. Because I feel like the thing that happens this time of year, right, is, there's a lot of RFAs that aren't signed. Matty Beniers is not signed. Jeremy Swayman is not signed. Seth Jarvis is not signed. And I feel like this time of year, hockey writers will kind of kick around the idea, can someone offer sheet them?
Yep.
I don't think it's going to, though. I don't think that ever happens on that scale because those teams are usually going to be willing and able to match the offers.
Right. Whereas Edmonton's just can't.
Yeah, they are really fucking handcuffed. If someone offer sheeted Matty Beniers right now, Seattle can match it.
Easily.
If someone they can make it work. They can make it work.
They can make Matty Beniers work. Whereas Edmonton's got
they could jettison Brandon Tanev like literally any day.
Edmonton's literally got negative money right now.
Yeah, and like Moritz Seider in Detroit. Yeah, technically you could offer sheet him, but Detroit's just going to match it and keep him. So really all you've done is sour your relationship with the team.
Literally. Yeah, exactly.
Whereas there is a very real possibility that Edmonton will not be able to match these offers. And it's not going to be like, oh, we just pissed in Edmonton's Trios. It's going to be like, oh, yeah, we got not 1, but 2 players.
Welcome to the Stan Bowman fucking experience.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be rough, bud.
It's kind of hilarious because, we talked about Stan Bowman and all the bullshit.
Hate him.
A lot of commentary I heard about it is like, well, Edmonton's basically done all their work for the offseason. They have a contender ripe and ready to go. All he has to do...
Jeff Jackson did the legwork
Yep.
to make this work. All he has to do is just sign the RFAs, and you're over. And now the RFAs were like, well, we got better deals now.
Maybe you should have paid me 3 months ago.
Exactly. Like, It's over.
It's a mess for the Oilers. Personally, I'm delighting in every second of it.
Oh, I love it. The Blues, I love you. I love St. Louis. You guys aren't going to be very good, but
I don't know if I can.
Hilarious right now.
I don't know if I can go that far because we have too many bad memories with them because they were good for a while and they would always piss in our Cheerios.
Oh, totally. But now they're in that rebuilding.
I don't think we never had a playoff series against them, but just in the regular season, it was always gnarly.
Hey, it was that David Perron fucking. He was with the Blues for so long.
God.
He played for us for 1 year, and he's like, I hate Vegas.
He played for us 1 year, and then he was like, "All right, my new mission is to score on Vegas
Exactly
1 to 3 times every time I play them." Before we move on, I have to ask, what do you think happens? Do they keep both? Do they let go of both? Do they keep one or the other?
I think they keep Holloway. And then because of Broberg's, I think the offer sheet's like $4 million.
That's the hefty one.
Broberg is more than Holloway. I think they keep Holloway because they know that the forward depth is what they need.
See, I kind of feel the opposite in the sense that, and this is why I think this was such a stroke of genius by St. Louis.
You screw them either way.
Exactly.
Quite literally screw them either way.
Because I've seen a lot of, comments and people on social media. Well, easy. Just let Broberg go. Keep Holloway.
No.
Okay. So you do that.
And your defense.
Who is on that defense? I think the offer that they signed Broberg to was by design. I think they let Holloway go. Like, hey, you want to let Holloway go? That's fine. We're gonna cut your Achilles heel in the defense.
Yeah, it was the poison pill. Yeah, it was
And if you look at St. Louis, that's kind of what they need.
They need a defenseman. They need a top end defenseman.
That defense is old and mediocre. And you know what's really hilarious is what I always see as far as offer sheets and why we don't see them too often. Mm-hmm. It's because the GMs respect each other, right?
Yeah.
There's an unspoken culture of respect where, like, I'm not going to fuck you over with this offer sheet because, hey, there's only 31 other GMs. We got to make trades. We have to be on the same page.
I like how St. Louis was like, guess what? You're back. We're going to dick you down right now.
Yeah, so exactly. I truly love the fact that Stan Bowman came back into the league, and about 2 weeks later, people are lining up to fuck him over.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
We're going to talk about some stat predictions.
Yep.
Maybe do some over-unders.
Yep. We can go straight into it. The key guy is Jack Eichel.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about how do we want to do this? Do we want to, go through every stat and pick a guy? I kind of think that goals and points and assists, there's a clear favorite.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let's go straight into it. I mean, Jack Eichel, 85 points for 82 games.
85 points in 82 games. Last year, he had 68 and 63. I'm going to hammer that over button every day of the week.
I agree. And then I would say 35 goals for Jack Eichel.
Honestly, I think that's very doable.
Agree.
He had 31 and 63 last year.
It's dependent on the health.
It's the same old story with Vegas, right? It's all about health and can these guys stay healthy? I think if Eichel only plays like 70 games next year, he can hit those numbers.
Easily 85. He had almost 70 at 61, 62 games.
Agreed. And I know I made the point the other day about how, Eichel only accounted for about 2 of Marchessault's primary assists. But that's primary. Points are points, right? Mm-hmm. Presumably next year he's going to be playing with Victor Olofsson and Ivan Barbashev, who are
going to have to really assist on those points.
Who are not
nearly Marchessault level. And leaning into that is I have Olofsson next.
Victor Olofsson, over under, hit me with it.
30 goals.
30 goals. I know he's been a 30-goal scorer in the past. Let's see. Last year, 57 is pretty fucking brutal. I feel like we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. He was playing in not the role of a scorer. The year before that, he was 28 goals.
And that was
the closest he got to 30.
Yeah. Was a minus 23, but we're not talking about that. I don't want to be a sourpuss. I'm going to say under. I'm going to pencil him in for 26. That's my prediction.
I'm okay with that because there's other guys coming later. I think he's a 25 plus goal scorer pretty easily.
I think
depending on what he it's entirely dependent on where he plays.
Yeah, and I know there's been some serious alarm bells with him in Buffalo the last few years. I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched Buffalo a ton.
No,
because
no one's watched Buffalo.
I say because they're shit.
Terrible.
Which is also why when you get a reclamation project from a team like that, you kind of have to let go of those numbers and say, hey, he was on a shit team.
Agreed. I mean, yeah, totally agreed. The next one I have is Mark Stone, 50 games played. It's kind of like the hot take.
You crack me up, buddy, because I told you when I got here, I left my notes at home. One of them was I was trying to be cheeky. I'm like, over-unders, what would be a good number? And I was thinking goals, assists, time on ice, all that good stuff. But one of the ones I wrote down was Mark Stone's games played. Not points, not assists, not goals. Mark Stone games played. I think the number I chose was like 64 or something. What did you put?
50. It's hard. I mean, last year he only played like 40 something.
Has he played more than 40 something in like 3 years?
It's not been good.
Like basically since he's been on the team. So Mark Stone's last few seasons, 56 games played, 43 games played, 37 games played. I think that was the COVID shortened season.
Yep.
55, 65.
Yeah, there's the trade season.
Yeah.
So the most he played was 65.
Well, the most he played was 80 with Ottawa in 2014. Yep.
He's still an elite winger. I just don't know if he plays more than 50.
What was your number again?
50.
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to take the over. So the first 2 years he missed significant time with us was his back, right?
Yep.
He got surgery. Didn't work. He got another surgery from the surgeon that Jack Eichel recommended to him. Last year he missed time, but it was not his back.
Because of the spleen.
It was not a chronic issue that was causing that.
Yep.
Those games played lost. From what I could tell from my Googling, as we all did when this happened, lacerated spleen. I don't want to say it's borderline a freak accident. You have to be hit.
Quite literally, it's a freak accident.
Yeah,
like,
and I watched the play.
You can stop about this.
I watched the play a million times. It's not like it was like a dirty hit or a nasty
accident.
hit. Normal check, and then he fell down and he grimaced and he just looked bad after that. I'm gonna have faith that the spleen was an isolated incident and that the chronic incident, which is his back, has been solved.
Yep.
I guess we'll find out next year. I'm taking the over. How about you?
I would say 50 games. I would
Keeping
say even,
in mind
even at 50 games. I would say he plays.
Oh, come on. You can't do even. Over or under. Over or
under. I would even. It's not even. I would say under. I would say just above half the season.
You're taking the under.
Under. Just because of what, last couple seasons. If he plays more than half the season, I'd be very happy. It's just he's been so beaten up, but he's still an elite winger. Regardless,
he has all the ability and heart and skill and leadership in the world. Yeah, I'm not going to blame you for that. Follow-up question: do we make the playoffs if that happens?
If he plays less than half the season, yes.
I'm going to say no.
If he plays less than half the season, we miss.
If he plays less than half a season, our top scoring winger will be Ivan Barbashev.
Yeah, that's difficult.
I'm not saying we're gonna lose by a lot. I'm not saying it's gonna be a lot of
tight. Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of tight games. I feel like if we lose him, we're gonna every 2 out of 3 games that we play, we're gonna lose by 1 goal.
Yeah, I could see that.
But let's not be negative. Hopefully the man is healthy. I'm taking the over. I'm being optimistic. Alex, this guy over here, pessimist, guys, fucking pessimist.
Talking about a guy that has come off of a kind of like a career year on a 30-30 year. William Karlsson had a tremendous year last season.
I'm glad you brought this up. This is another one that I wrote down just because I feel like it kind of got overlooked how good of a fucking year he had.
Incredible season last year.
It's kind of funny with William Karlsson. I feel like he had the inaugural year with us, right? He had 40-something goals, and that kind of took all the attention. And then the next few years after that, like
quiet
offensively. But here's the thing. I do not believe for a single fucking second that George McPhee signed him to that extension for his offense or because he scored 40 goals.
Just overall two-way ability.
Exactly. It was because of the defense. It was because of the hard work and the work ethic. It's because of the way he would get in the corners, the way he would battle and fight for pucks. And he's just one of those guys where you can tell he fucking hates getting scored on. And he will fucking fight to the bitter end of that shift to make sure he does not get scored on.
Totally agree. He had last year 30 and 30. 30 goals, 30 assists, 60 points in 82 games as a third line center.
God, how did we lose in the first round? Fuck.
He is just so good. I have on my list of just kind of plus or minus surpassing that. Do you think he goes over 30 goals?
Last year, he mainly played with Amadio and Howden.
Yes, and he's probably going to play with.
But it was always
Holtz.
it was always kind of a revolving cast,
He
right?
still had 30 goals and 30 assists with a Fullerton cast.
To me, the goals
the only
is what
stable
really
guy
stood
was
out.
probably Michael Amadio. Was probably the only stable guy with him.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where a lot of the assists came in.
Yes.
But the goals, man, that's what really stands out to me. How old is he? He's 32.
It's hard.
I'm gonna take the under. Let me clarify though. I 100% believe in William Karlsson. I believe in Harvey Dent.
Yep. Yeah.
And I believe in William Karlsson.
I think if he has under 30 goals, he's gonna exceed the 30 assist mark.
I think that regardless of the points, he is going to be the best third line center in the league because of what I
100%.
mentioned. The two-way play, the defense, the work ethic, getting in the corners, not afraid to get hit, not afraid to get pucks off the wall. And you know what? Maybe he does hit that over or at least break even on the assists just because the one thing I've noticed about William Karlsson is he elevates the play of literally anyone around him.
Yeah, and that's perfect because if he's going to be playing on a line with Alexander Holtz.
Yeah, and
I
know we have our own
that guy, kind of guy.
Yeah, I know obviously there's the fancy projections, our own internal projections. I think it's safe to say that, he's going to be playing with some offensive guys, whether it's Holtz or whether it's Brisson or Olofsson. Yeah. I think his assists will go up. I don't think the total points maybe I don't think
his assists will go up 100%. I don't think his goals go up.
Probably not. I think
his goals his assists might approach 40 plus.
Yeah, I always think of Karlsson as like a 20-goal guy.
Yes.
And so when he hit 30 goals this year, I was giddy because I'm like, fuck yeah.
And
he's having a great year.
Like low-key having an incredible year. No one talked about a 30 and 30 year from William Karlsson.
And that's kind of crazy, right? And like, obviously, I don't expect the wider hockey world to talk about that, but I felt like our own fans should have picked up on it.
Yeah, because he had a great year. Just overall, it's a great year. I mean, he's going to elevate whoever he plays with on that line. And even if it has to happen where Cassidy puts him on the second line and Hurdle moves to the wing.
Well, I was going to say, can I throw a complete wild card over under at you? I did not write this down. I did not think about it. This is organic conversation. William Karlsson over under however many points Tomas Hurdle has. Who will have the better year, Tomas Hurdle or William Karlsson?
As of right now, if it's a center core of Eichel, Hurdle, Karlsson, Waugh, I think Hurdle has the better year. But depending on what they have to move around, if in case the team's not working out, and Hurdle plays the wing and then Karlsson's the second line center. Karlsson could have a better year.
I kind of feel the same.
I think as a take right now, Hurdle has the better year, dependent on how the wingers perform.
And that's the wild card, right? Because I think the presumption is he's going to play with Stone.
Yes.
Is Stone going to, as we said earlier, is he going to play more than 40 games? I don't know.
That's the key.
Is he going to play with Holtz? Is Holtz going to, do anything other than
Is he
be
gonna
a
hold up?
massive defensive
Yeah.
liability? Is he going to play with Dorofeev? Good segue.
Yep. Speaking of Dorofeev,
Over under. Do you got one written down? I have one in my head.
25.
That's good.
25 goals.
I think my notes I wrote 27. We'll do 25. Over under 25. I'm taking the over.
Me too.
I think one thing we kind of agree on is
this kid can score.
all these projections and predictions from the mainstream hockey media. I feel like a fucking crazy person when I talk about hockey. Suddenly I become a conspiracy theorist talking about the mainstream media.
Yep.
I don't mean that in a conspiracy-minded way. I just mean that in that they're, stupid and don't pay attention kind of way. A lot of these projections that have Vegas finishing so low, I think it's because they just don't know how good Dorofeev is.
They have no idea how good Pavel Dorofeev is. They're counting out Tomas Hertl.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
Entirely overall, we really only lost Jonathan Marchessault. Chandler Stevens is good. Yeah, I Chandler Stevens
that was
is
a
great.
loss, but I think Hertl it kind of washes it out.
But the big loss was Marshy, obviously with 40 plus goals. But like losing Marshy is a massive loss to the team. He's a core guy. He's key to everything. But you have three guys that can slot him. Like we can score what he did easily because they're all young and they all have an elite shot, all have an elite game.
Yeah, I agree. I think I kind of had this thought earlier. All I could think was if we just managed to hold on to Marchessault, I think we would still be a high-end contender.
Right.
I still have faith in the team. That being said, I think we're a little bit more middle of the pack / like fringe playoff middle class NHL team. We'll get into it, I guess, later in our season previews.
Yeah.
I think we still have a pretty stout defense in center core and goaltending, which are,
I agree.
as we know, the most important positions. But that being said, we certainly lost a lot of offense and a lot of play off the wing.
Right.
I do think that Pavel Dorofeev is much better than people realize.
Yep.
I think he has a natural scoring touch.
Yep.
He doesn't have like the highest like top speed or anything, but he plays with pace, if that makes sense.
Yep.
He's smart. He gets in the right spots. Frankly, he does kind of remind me of Marchessault just on the other wing. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the over for Dorofeev all day long.
Yep. Plus 25.
I'm gonna throw out my own
Go for it.
prediction. I'm gonna pencil him in for 28 goals next year.
I think it's perfectly reasonable.
32 assists. Don't ask me why. It just sounds right.
I think that's very reasonable. I only have a couple more. I have Noah Hannafin at a 30 plus or minus.
Oh, that's a good one. 30 plus or minus. Jesus. I'm going to say under.
Under? You think so?
Not because I doubt his ability or anything. I just think that's a really big number. I think
he's going to be out there a lot.
Exactly. And that's kind of the thing, right, with defense guys like Pietrangelo, defensemen that play so many minutes. We're like, well, look at these stats. He sure gets scored on a lot. I'm like, yeah, because he's on the ice for literally half the fucking game.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
No shit.
Yep. The thing I think with Hannafin is that he's gonna really spell that need with Pietrangelo being out there for half an hour. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I think between him and Theodore and Petro and, this is going to be a hot take of mine later, Caden Korczak, I think these guys are going to be playing like fucking 12 minutes a night and just be fresh as fuck until playoffs. I think so,
yeah. I think they're going to plan that out very well. I have no reason to believe that Cassie's not going to plan out his defenseman minutes well.
Oh, no. That's the number one thing he's going to do.
Yep.
So I will still take the minus.
Okay.
Because I think... just because I think it's a high number, I'm going to pencil him in for about a plus 16. So definitely a plus player. But, shit happens when you're on the ice that much. So
I totally agree.
I will say I think I think he's the new number one guy.
I agree. He's still young enough, and he's like kind of taking over that position from Pietrangelo. It's just kind of obvious. I don't think there's like anybody in his way other than Theodore, but Theodore's really have to show up this season to like really prove that he's the number one guy. Whereas Hannafin's like, yeah, I'm here.
Exactly. Depending on how Petro does, getting a little older, I'm still a huge Petro truther.
Oh, I agree.
If you're one of these guys that was clowning on him in the playoffs, get the fuck out. I do think Pietrangelo is still a high-end defenseman in the league. I think people are writing him off a little too soon.
Yeah, I would take Pietrangelo over like half. I would not even half, but maybe like 3/4 of middle pairing defensemen in the league.
Oh, easy. And then I think, like you said, Hannafin and Theo just only help. So
exactly. And then I have two more. Hurdle at 60 points.
That's a good one. Hurdle at 60. I'm going to take the plus.
I think so. I think he scores more. Like, I do think. Like,
I think he's going to have Dorofeev on his wing, and that's got done pumping his tires.
Stone or Hurdle. Stone or Dorofeev or somebody on his wing that's going to really help him propel that season. And then the amount of Hurdle hate I've seen recently is like, well, he's not been good. It's like, guys, he's played 2 weeks.
I forgot
as a Golden Knight.
I forgot the name of the account, but I'm sure you saw it on the team subreddit. But that guy that makes like retro video game graphics.
Yes.
I will say I do immensely enjoy the graphics, but his take was so fucking stupid. I didn't like the way he played off injury, and he doesn't seem to have chemistry. I'm like, okay. And there are actual Vegas fans that feel this way too, and bloggers and whatnot.
Yep.
Let's be fucking for real here, as the Gen Zers say.
Mm-hmm.
He played like 4 or 5 games before the playoffs with the team.
Yeah,
coming off injury and surgery.
Knee surgery.
He had not played for
surgery.
like 2 months.
Yep, a long time.
So he played like 3 or 4 games, regular season games, and not just any regular season games. Those are games where we were fighting for a playoff spot.
Exactly.
Let's not forget we were struggling.
We were struggling for a wild card.
And then we get into the playoffs, and who do we play? The Dallas fucking Stars. Yeah,
fucking juggernaut.
And we took him to 7. And yeah, he had a few games that weren't so good. Alex, is it a fucking crime to have like 3 bad games against the fucking Dallas Stars?
No,
I don't think
so.
All. Yeah, so people that are discounting Hurdle can be fucking for real right now. I don't even remember the number you said. I'm taking the plus. I'm taking the over.
60 points.
Over. Hammer. You hear that noise? That's me hitting the fucking over button.
That's even him with having like an injured season with San Jose last year too, because getting his knee surgery in February, and then he hadn't even played a game after that, and they traded him to Vegas.
Yeah.
And before that, he had moderate.
New city, new team, new system,
and he
new
was on.
knee.
And before that, he was on fucking San Jose.
Exactly.
He had
not played a meaningful game in like 4 years.
Exactly, and I think he's gonna be a lot better. You know, the dog piling on him I've seen from multiple.
It's from all sides because fans of the team, they want someone to blame or reasons to feel pessimistic, right? And then people from outside of the team, well, as we all know, we're the most hated fucking team in the league.
I guess so, yeah.
So all they want to do is pick holes, and it's so stupid. I really cannot see a world where Eichel Hurdle is not one of the best 1-2 punches in the fucking league. That's right. As far as I'm concerned, that's right up there with fucking McDavid, Draisaitl, Crosby, Malkin. Fucking
it's past Crosby Malkin. Crosby Malkin are fucking 36 plus.
Exactly.
They're fucking. I know we're in our mid 30s, but those guys are fucking old for hockey.
I'm starting to like. The more I think about it, the more I'm starting to adopt this like unapologetic attitude. I'm like, you know what? You will all fucking bow down by the end of the year.
Exactly.
I promise you.
I agree.
Maybe, and it'll be even funnier if it's a slow start in October and people are riding their.
I'll take it. I'll take a slow start to where we just coast.
Yeah, they're gonna write their snappy little fucking blog titles and their little Instagram posts. Get fucked. Give me a fucking break. Be fucking for real. On that note, I think it's time that we move into our hot takes for the 2024-2025 hockey season.
We both got a few.
So I think the way we decided to do it is we would do some that are VGK specific, and then a couple that are, wider league ones. Who goes first? And
I'll take it first. I'll
go for it.
Let's do the VGK specific.
I have a feeling that we're probably gonna have some overlap, but I think that's not a bad thing.
I think this is kind of something we talked about. I have a number one hot take. Pavel Dorofeyev is a 25 plus goal scorer.
Yeah, we kind of hit that earlier with our over-unders. Agreed 100%. Like I said, I think...
He was close last year.
I think, this time of year, you see like, who the top 6 projections, the this, the that, NHL Network, fucking hockey news, fucking this, that, and the other.
Yep.
A common consensus seems to be that fuck Vegas because, who are these clowns in their top 6?
Pavs is a fucking animal.
He is.
Legit,
and
just a pure goal scorer.
Shout out to Merles from Spit and Chicklets, who knows how good he is and brought it up a few times last year. I think this guy is like a future like regular 30-ish goal scorer
easily, and he's still in his early 20s. He's a future cornerstone of this team.
And it's funny because I feel like really it's kind of the antithesis to how a lot of teams and how a lot of fans expect young players to be. I think there's kind of this expectation where a team will draft a young player, they're going to throw him in the lineup when he's like 18 or 19, and be like, all right, do it. Come on, you scored 50 goals in juniors, do it. And then when it doesn't happen, he's a bust. He can't do it at the NHL level. He's not a man, he's a boy. He's a bust. I really think we handled it right with Dorofeyev, and I think he's going to hit his prime with the team as a full-time top sixer.
Totally agree.
And I think, like I said, I think it's going to be, what did I say, pencil him in for like 27. Step into that role beautifully. And it's not just me. Kelly McCrimmon at his post-season conference that, a lot of people didn't pay attention to. He basically said, like, oh, yeah, we let some guys go, but, we have young players that are going to step into those roles.
He had 13 goals in 47 games last year.
That's not bad, and like to me,
he's gonna play a full 82 games,
and there was a period in those 47 games where he was scoring at a higher rate than Connor Bedard.
Yes, he was incredible.
Yeah, and I think we also have to keep in mind that,
and this is
unlike Connor Bedard,
24 season, he's still very, very young.
I don't know about to say very, very, but he's still young.
24 is young for NHL.
I think he's hitting his prime, and
now
he's going to get top 6 minutes.
Oh,
literally in his prime, for the first time as he's entering his prime. Yeah, I believe in this kid.
Yeah, I do too. Like, what else? What else can he do other than show you that he can just purely score, play with Carlson well?
And, he knows how to get in the right spots.
Yes,
it's kind of funny because his first NHL goal was the one that
off the helmet. Yeah,
but it's easy to laugh about that one. Like, oh yeah, he didn't really do anything. He was in the right spot.
Exactly,
he knew where to go. Like, a lot of guys don't do that. I think he has all the skill in the world. I think his season last year got fucked over by Jacob Trouba's elbow.
Fucking flying elbow.
Yeah, and like many things, I think outside fans are sleeping on it because
agree.
He's not 18. He's 24. He's not a Chicago or Ottawa product. He's a Vegas product. So naturally, no one knows fucking anything about him. I believe in the development program. This is why he played in Henderson for so many years.
Agreed.
And
he's ready.
He is ready to go now. I think so. Kelly McCrimmon thinks so.
Look at what Paul Cotter got us.
Oh, yeah.
Trade for Akira Schmid and Alexander Holtz.
And it's funny, again, because, you see all these fucking hockey YouTubers. I don't know what New Jersey was thinking. How could you let go of Alexander Holtz for Paul Cotter? Who is this guy? Paul Cotter is a great fucking player. Mm-hmm. That's who the fuck he is.
He's a great developed player, and that's why we got...
He can score. He has nasty hands. He forechecks. He hits. He plays the right way. He's been well coached.
The development is
good.
He's
learned a lot.
Yep, and that's why I think Dorofeyev can easily be a 25-plus goal scorer here.
Easily.
You got a hot take?
I have many. Okay, I got one because I think I got two, actually. I'll do the first. I'll do one, and then we'll alternate. My hot take for Vegas is that Jack Eichel is going to finish top 3 in Selke voting this year. And as a caveat, I'll say he'll also play 75 plus games.
Totally see that. Like I can totally see that happening
with a lot of players, but with Eichel particularly, people kind of sleep on his defensive ability. That's why he was almost our Conn Smythe winner. You know, it wasn't just feeding Marchessault the puck. Because
everything.
He frankly did not feed Marchessault the puck a lot of the time. It was
like,
his two-way play.
2 or 3 times that he actually had a primary assist on a Marchessault goal.
Yep, and he's on that first penalty kill. I don't know, man. I think people are just... He has this competitive edge that a lot of players don't have. Like, this dude loves to fucking win, and he hates to fucking lose, like, to a point where it's almost psycho, like Mark Stone.
Yeah.
That's called fire. That's called spirit. That's called competitiveness. And I think what Bruce Cassidy really did was take that fire and that competitiveness and say, hey, man, do you want to play the wrong way and score 40 goals and fucking lose? Or do you want to play the right way, score 20 goals, and win a fucking Stanley Cup?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
no, I agree with you.
So, I don't know. I think we saw it in the playoffs last year. I think we saw it this last regular season. I think he is fucking great defensively. One of my
he's grown incredibly.
One of my favorite moments of the Cup run was when we were playing against Edmonton. I don't remember what game it was, 2 or 3 or so. It's one of the games that we won.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton had pulled their goalie, right? And so it was 6-on-5 with all their big dogs on the ice. And Eichel just fucking challenges McDavid and quite easily lifts his stick, steals the puck, creates a gap, and then fucking launches the puck, scores an empty net goal.
Yep.
And, you know, of course, everyone's empty net goal. Yeah, who cares? No big deal.
They don't look like what actually led to that.
Exactly. Like, what led to that empty net goal was Jack Eichel fucking embarrassing Connor McDavid.
Exactly.
So I have full faith in his two-way game, in his defense. He will obviously be our first line center. He will be on power play. He will run power play 1. He will run PK 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Selke.
I agree.
Calling it.
He's there. My second kind of hot take for Vegas specific is kind of a little combo. Is Theodore resigns, and then one of Haig or Whitecloud is traded for a top 6 forward.
I can 100% see this, and it kind of leads into one of my own hot takes if you want me to throw it out.
Yeah.
So my other Vegas hot take was that Caden Korzak will finish with higher time on ice than Whitecloud, Haig, and McNabb.
Yeah. No, that's something I was kind of contemplating as a hot take was, where's Korzak finish at? I do totally agree that he is going to be a guy that's not only a bottom 6 pairing, but a minute muncher guy because he's so young and he's so just good. Just period. So good.
I think, talking about guys that get slept on, I think Caden Korzak is a legit top 4 defenseman.
I mean, we talked about it previously, but he was a tied or it was above, I believe, Bedard and Faber in points per game for rookies last season.
Yeah, and he played on our second. And granted, it was because of a Theodore injury, so he had the opportunity. But he was on our second pair.
Mm-hmm.
Cassidy said himself, it felt like whenever he was on the ice, we were driving the pace and controlling play. Finished like a plus 16.
Yeah,
had
he's
a
just
bunch
good.
Of points.
Just good.
I think he's just a great two-way defenseman. He can defend. He can contribute to the offense.
Yep.
I would not be surprised if he got power play time, if he got PK time. I'm really high on this kid. And to feed back into your hot take that started this, I can 100% see one of the others. I think that's why they're loading up in the defense. Like, all right, we got a trade chip now.
Yeah, we've trade chip, and then you could trade one. You could trade anybody on that entire group of 8 for a good prospect. But a good top 6 forward.
Yeah. I quite literally think that the only safe ones are Hannafin and Petro.
Yes.
And then you said your hot take is Theo Signs.
Yes.
100% see that easily.
Yeah.
Easily. I love our decor. I love Whitecloud. I love Haig. I love Hutton. Like I said, sometimes you gotta cut off where you're strong to feed where you're weak.
Yep. Exactly.
So
I
if one
agree.
of those guys is in a deal for a top 6 winger, see it easily. Easily.
Agreed. I mean, you have a second hot take here?
Well, my second hot take for Vegas was just that Korzak finishes
So kind of similar.
higher time on ice than half the decor.
So kind of similar, like into the
basically
similar
saying
idea.
that Korzak will be a top pair guy by the
I
end of
can
the year.
agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Do you have some league hot takes?
I
League
do.
wide?
I have a few hot ones.
Past our limited Vegas scope here.
I have one that maybe some people might not like.
Let me hear it.
The Pittsburgh Penguins finish in the bottom 5.
Oh, yeah. Easy. Not to spoil eventual season previews, but I think they're going to finish literally last place in their division. They are fucking awful, dude.
Yeah, let's shoot out the forward group. It's Rickard Raquel, who is
that's a notable first line winger, right?
not maybe,
I think
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby, Brian Russ.
Okay,
Awful.
so I will give Crosby his props. This man has
Sidney Crosby is an animal.
He has defied Father Time.
Yes.
He is still an elite player. Quite literally, any team would love to have him.
Yes.
And Brian Russ is a great winger.
Yes, Brian Russ. I had him on my fantasy hockey team for about like half the season.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he was healthy, he was on my team. And then we moved to the second line, and it gets very fucking dicey. Evgeny Malkin's the center. Michael Bunting is the left winger, and then Valtteri Puustinen, who I believe is a career AHLer, is on the right wing. And then on your third line is Lars Eller. Anthony Bevelier is your left wing. Kevin Hayes is your right wing.
That move, sorry not to cut you off, but seeing Kevin Hayes get traded to this team, I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are they doing?
It's quite literally the opposite of what you need. Like, hey, let's just find another mediocre aging guy and just that'll move the needle. Kevin Hayes, that's a great replacement for Riley Smith. Great.
We're literally not. And your fourth line is Cody Glass, which Cody Glass had a decent season last year, and the season before he had a good year.
The season before was pretty good.
He's a VGK OG in the draft. And
Golden Knights alum.
Yeah, we love him. I like Cody Glass. It's just, he was drafted high and just never lived up to his potential.
Decent fourth line center.
Great middle six guy, but very good fourth line center, and he's paired with Blake Lizotte and Drew O'Connor. This team is not good.
It's not good, and I feel like you can look at this and there's enough talent there. Well, they're not going to be the bottom. Here's the thing. Very often...
We didn't even talk about their defense yet.
Oh, God.
Their defense is Marcus Pettersson and Erik Karlsson. Not good already. And then Ryan Graves, who's been dog shit for that team.
Ryan Graves' entire career is based
propped up of fucking Kel McCarr.
Exactly. Based on the fact that he played with Kel McCarr once.
And then, so Ryan Graves and then Chris Letang, and their bottom pair is Matt Grzelcyk and Sebastian Aho. Sebastian, the
other Sebastian,
the defenseman, the bad Sebastian Aho. They lost Pierre Olivier Joseph, who was actually very good
and young.
What
are they doing? Yeah, I think it goes without saying that I agree with this hot take 100%. I would go even further, and I'll spoil our division previews and say I have them picked for bottom of their fucking division.
Yeah,
quite literally fucking. And here's the thing. This is the point I was going to make earlier. Sometimes you see a team like, well, they're bad, but there's enough talent there. They're not going to be bottom of the barrel bad.
Like Capitals. Like they're not good, but like they're not terrible.
But also every year there's a team that is so much worse than you expect, and it's hilarious every year, to be frank.
Yeah.
And I think this is this year's pick. I think
it's the Penguins.
Everyone's picking them to be like middle of the pack, slightly below middle of the pack. I think they're going to be fucking. I think
they're going to be bad.
They're going to get the number one fucking draft pick. Like, I think they're going to be fucking bad, dude.
They're going to be awful. I really do think it's just. And again, Sidney Crosby is so good, and it's such like shame to his ability.
Free Sid.
Free Sid. This team is just so bad. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, you've got like you've got Lars Eller as your third line center.
You got
with
a bunch
Kevin
of
Hayes
your
and
best
Anthony
players
Belvier.
are like fucking 50 years old.
Your best players are approaching 40. Like, what do you do?
Your pickups were Anthony Beauvillier and Kevin Hayes.
Valtteri Pustinen's been a career AHLer.
Drew O'Connor.
Michael Bunting. Michael Bunting had one good year.
Michael Bunting he's the type of player where he would be extremely useful on a good team, but he is not
bottom six.
He is not going to elevate a bad team.
No.
I would like to have Michael Bunting on our team because it's a good team.
In a bottom six role.
Yeah, he would. God, yeah. Put
He's
him on.
Gonna be in the top six.
Put him on William Karlsson's wing. That'd be
great.
Hey, let's quick trade deadline preview. Give me Michael Bunting, 3 left wing.
No, agree.
There we go.
Yeah. You got a league
because this team sure as shit will be selling.
Oh yeah, this team's gonna be terrible. I guarantee you that they're gonna be selling at minimum. I would say Bunting, Pustinen, Eller, and probably Cody Glass again. If it's not, if they're not willing to part with Sidney Crosby.
Well, I was gonna say, you know who they should fucking sell is Sidney Crosby,
because they can get picks and value out of him.
Yeah, and you could also be like, hey Sid, thanks for everything. You're better than this man.
Oh, he is 100% better than this. This is awful.
But also, the financial livelihood in this team 100% revolves around him. So
exactly. No, I agree. I agree.
I highly doubt that
he gets traded anywhere.
Yeah.
You got another league hot take?
I do. Should I go negative or positive?
Positive.
All right, yeah, because we just did a negative one. The Utah Hockey Club will make the playoffs, and it will not be even particularly close.
Yeah,
I'm not doing my preview right now. I'm gonna say
we'll get there. Yeah,
but I'm gonna say at least third in that division.
I can see that. I mean, they're young, they're hungry, they're not bad.
This is kind of a recycled hot take for me because last year my hot take was that Arizona would make the playoffs. And honestly, I think they were on pace to do so until those reports came out about the relocation and this and that and the other. I kind of think people underestimate the effect on someone's mindset that would have as a player for that team. Not even just a player, as an employee of that team. I mean, we both saw that last game. It was fucking heartbreaking. Cheerleaders are bawling their eyes out.
Dude, this team is nasty.
It is deep.
Right now,
I'm not going to say they're going to I think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know if they get out of the first round.
But they can make the playoffs super easily.
Yeah, Clayton Keller.
Let's put it right now. I would say Logan Cooley's their top line center.
Yeah.
So it's Cooley as the center, Keller is your left wing, Schmaltz is your right wing.
That's a nasty line.
And then Krause as your left wing on the second line. Hayton, Gunther, disgusting. And then Bukestad as your center, Matthias Michelli, Josh Doan.
Yeah.
And then Jack McBain, Alexander Corfruit, and Kevin Stenlund. That's a fucking nasty lineup, dude.
That is. And it's a deep lineup. That's a lineup.
That forward core is incredible right now.
Exactly. And I was about to say, do they have that true number one? Clayton Keller is elite.
Clayton Keller is an elite
and
all-star.
Logan Cooley will be elite.
Nick Schmaltz is elite. Dylan Gunther is elite. Lawson Krause is everything you want.
And then we saw, how many times did we see Michelli and Henderson fucking light our asses
Matthias
up?
Michelli's incredible.
Nick Bukestad is fucking useful everywhere he goes.
No one talks about
their defense. They completely rebuilt this D line.
Mikhail Sergachev.
They completely
Sean Dursey, Yusuf Alamaki, John Marino, Ian Cole, Michael Kessering. Holy shit.
Yeah. And you're like, where's the weak link? Maybe Kesserling, maybe Cole.
Maybe Kessering.
Guess what? That's their fucking bottom pair.
Who cares?
Every team has that.
John Marino's a fucking anchor.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
John Marino almost fucking willed New Jersey to a playoff position last year.
I really think this top pair, Sergachev and Dursey,
is disgusting.
That might be one of the nastiest pairs
disgusting.
In the league, dude. Sean Dursey, okay, I made this joke earlier. I believe in Harvey Dent, and I believe in Sean Dursey. And I used to hate him so much in LA.
Yeah, we'll get into our division previews, but this defense is going from what they had last year to now is
miles above,
night and day.
Yeah,
this is one of the best defensive
it hurts
groups in the league.
It hurts to lose J.J. Moser. You get fucking Mikhail Sergachev back. Sergachev that
John Marino, Yusuf.
Ian Cole. John Marino's he's a big tall animal, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then Sergachev. Imagine Sergachev that is not in fucking Victor Hedman's shadow.
This team still has $20 million something in fucking cap
exactly.
space.
So when they get to the fucking,
they can make a play.
When they get to the deadline and they're in a playoff spot, which they fucking will be.
They will make a play for a big name forward or big name defenseman.
We have all these nasty UFAs this year. Mm-hmm. Nasty
Mitch
UFAs.
Marner.
Sid Crosby.
John Tavares.
Yeah, they're a nasty UFA class this year. Are you telling? And they have so many fucking picks. This team was rebuilt the right way.
Yep.
A lot of teams rebuild and they never get back into gear.
Dude, this
Buffalo.
This team can make a play for fucking Yaroslavl. Not Yaroslavl. I'm sorry. Askarov.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, I was saying, speaking of goalies, fucking Connor Ingram is so slept
good,
on, dude.
Yeah.
And then Kirill Vejmenka.
He's good.
I am so high on this team, dude. I'm so high on this team.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I totally agree that Utah could easily make up the playoffs in this Utah team.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not number one.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know.
3.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know if this is even a hot take. I feel like it is because people are so like they shat on Arizona for so long. I can already see it. Utah's gonna be good, and people are like, oh my god, what a magical story! Who could have saw this coming? Fucking anyone with eyes, pull up Puckpedia, look at the lineup.
Yeah, the GM literally built this to be ready to go. Shame on Alex Murillo for being a fucking dipshit and a dumbass.
A liar and a deceiver.
Yeah, but like the GM, Armstrong was the GM, I believe the GM, and he's fucking prepped this team ready to go, and Murillo just is a dumbass. Luckily, Utah just like, we're gonna retain everybody that is here, and we know the talent is Murillo's an asshole.
The colors are sexy.
Yeah,
and just
this team is just
and
looking at the layout of the team, it's just
it's a good
team. What's a weak link like?
It's a good team, and then not only is it a good team,
Josh Stone could win the Calder this year.
Oh yeah, easy. It's a good team, and it's a good team that finally has stability and leadership from the top down, which they've never had.
This
honestly, is not Alex. This is not a fringe team.
No,
this team is not starting training camp. No, feeling like they're the fucking butt of the joke of the league. I don't know, man. I think they're going to do some. Team. I think they're going to do some serious.
This could be a 2 or 3 seed team. That's not even the wild cards. They look good.
Easy. So, like I said, for the rest of the league, maybe it's a hot take for me. It's just obvious, but put it here, folks. Utah Hockey Club is making the playoffs.
I agree.
And then my other league hot take. I try to look at the league as a whole. I try to make it, vary it up. But I kind of I ended up staying in the Central. Mm-hmm. So I have Utah making the playoffs. Hot take. Bro, I think Colorado's going to fucking miss the playoffs.
Colorado's forward group is...
They look fucking bad, bro.
Their defense is good, but their forward group is kind of awful.
So I will say, I'm not saying pencil it in, it's happening. It's a hot take. It is a hot take. And I say that because, obviously, Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Cale
totally.
McCarr, they have enough game-breaking ability where they can take control of enough games where, like, okay, they're going to make the playoffs. But
this bottom, look at after the first group, the 9 is awful.
Okay,
so it's
Jonathan Drouin, man.
He's never lived up to anything.
No.
Ever.
He's only on this team because he's Nathan McKinnon's buddy.
So it's McKinnon, Drouin, Rantanen. Totally. I get it. I frankly think Arturi Lekkonen's going to be up on that left wing.
He should because he's
good. He's good. And then the next one is Lekkonen, Casey Middlestat.
This is where it already...
Nikolai Kovalenko.
I quite literally don't know who that is.
He is a draft pick that was moved over to Colorado after he finished his season in Europe, and now he played for Colorado for the Eagles for a little bit, and now he's going to be on the team. And then from there, it's Ross Colton, who's past his prime. He only ever played as a middle 6 guy in Tampa Bay, Miles Wood, who's only ever been a bottom 6 guy.
He had like one good year in New Jersey.
New Jersey. And then Logan O'Connor, who's been injured for his entire fucking career. And then Chris Wagner, who is literally a career AHLer. And then Parker Kelly, who barely fucking cracked the Ottawa Senators lineup. And Joel Kiviranta, who's been fucking an AHL guy for... This team is not good.
Yeah, his career peaked like 3 years ago. And I've seen a lot of lineups.
And the defense is obviously Makar Taves.
Great.
Gerard Manson, good. And then you get fucking Eric Brandstrom and Oliver Gillington.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking you agree with me.
This
by
is
your
not
tone.
a good team.
Yeah, and then let's not forget number 1 goalie Alexander Georgiev.
Alexander Georgiev had a sub 890 save percentage and played the most games last year in the entire league. Was dog shit in the playoffs.
Yeah, and there were a lot of projections that had Parker Kelly in the top 6. I'm like, holy shit.
Parker Kelly is literally a fringe fucking forward.
Sorry, Parker, if you're listening. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like I can't deny like the sheer
drop off.
I was gonna say the sheer game breaking ability of McKinnon and Makar and Rantanen.
Oh no, not denying that. Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen are so good. Cale Makar so good, but can they overcome how bad this lineup is?
Oh, that's why it's my hot take. I'm gonna say no.
It's a Edmonton Oiler-esque.
Oh, easy. But they don't even have a Draisaitl. You know what I mean?
No, they don't have a second line center that's otherworldly.
Instead of a Draisaitl, they have fucking Casey Middlestat.
Who was, he's good, but he's at most a middle, not even a middle 6. I would even say. No, again, if you're listening to this, don't kill us. Bottom 6 center.
I will.
William Karlsson,
here's the phrase
Nick
I
Waugh
would use.
are better than him.
Here's the phrase I would use: top 9.
Yeah,
top 9. I think that's diplomatic.
I frankly don't believe that he's a second line center
on a contender.
No. Absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, okay. McKinnon, Middlestat, Colton, Wagner. That's not a center core of a contender. It's just not.
Like this, what is this?
I do not give a shit if McKinnon scores 140 points next year. And then we got Jonathan Drouin on the top 6 wing.
Nikolai Kovalenko has never played a full fucking season.
Yeah, and it cracks me up because, like I said, obviously there's always different projections, right?
Joel Kiviranta was in the fucking AHL last year.
Yeah. If the only difference in a lot of these top 6 projections are, well, do you go with Kovalenko or do you go with Parker Kelly?
That's dog shit.
That's awful. Fucking
awful.
People are giving a shit about having Victor Olofsson in our top 6.
Our center depth is fucking Eichel, Hurdle, Karlsson, Waugh. And then if Waugh you want to play in the wing, you put Howden at the bottom line center.
Theoretical question, Alex. Who would you rather have as your 2C? Tomas Hurdle or Casey Middlestat?
Tomas Hurdle. 100%.
Who would you rather have as your 2C? William Karlsson or Casey Middlestat? Yeah. Fucking less.
I'd rather have Nick Waugh over Casey Middlestat.
Yeah, and that's the first time where I'm like, well, it's close at least. I would still take Nick Waugh.
Yeah. This team is not good.
Yeah. And
again, like we said, Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen, otherworldly, incredible, amazing forwards.
Apologies to Kyler from Mojave Brewing if you're listening. But I
Nathan
don't know,
McKinnon's
man.
amazing, but this team is legit not good.
No.
Maybe they'll surprise us, but like this forward group is. But again, what's going to happen? Because injuries are going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Wagner's going to get injured. Ross Colton's going to get injured. Casey Middlestat's going to not play 10 games. Where are you pulling from at the center group?
Yeah, I just like I said, I will give respect to the sheer game breaking ability of McKinnon.
Oh
Makar,
yeah, totally.
Rantanen, but there's such a drop off after that. I'm like I can't expect consistency from this group.
I 100% agree.
And like you said, if there's injuries, I can't expect overcoming those injuries. This team is like one McKinnon
sheer drop off.
If McKinnon misses 20 games, like this could be like a bottom 6 team.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I don't know if it's even a hot take, I guess, but I think this team could easily miss the playoffs in the right circumstances.
In a similar circumstance, of your hot take, I have another hot take. I kind of stole this from Dan on Neanders.
Oh, okay.
The Edmonton Oilers are going to miss the playoffs.
It's funny because I feel like I heard that, and a lot of people Chris immediately clowned on him, and I kind of wanted to echo it because I'm a salty Vegas fan, but I could totally see it happening, man, because it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the episode. They might be out Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg.
They will be out a minimum one of those players.
Yes, I feel like there's been a lot of hubbub about acquiring Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson, and I will admit, I was kind of on that train. I'm like, oh yeah, those are great guys to have in your third line.
Victor Arvidsson has never played a full season.
Oh no, and then
Jeff Skinner hasn't scored more than 25 goals since his one good goal season.
Nope. And then I kind of we're looking at the projection right now, and I saw multiple projections that had him out like this. And this is a popular team, so these projections are probably well informed. I didn't realize that Skinner and Arvidsson were basically like their second line wingers.
Mm-hmm. So as projected, it's Connor McDavid. Naturally. Connor McDavid's the best hockey player in the world. Zach Hyman on the right wing. Again, fine. I think Zach Hyman regresses from his 50 goals. I think naturally.
It's gonna be tough for anyone to keep that up.
Yeah. Nugent Hopkins only had 60 points last season.
Yeah, because remember the year that we won the cup, he had 100 plus.
Crazy amount of points.
And this is what's so crazy about this team. Like, people talk about our lack of winger depth. Nugent Hopkins is not a winger. He's a center. Ideally, that's your third line center.
Yeah.
But, oh my God.
And then
instead they got fucking 48-year-old Adam Henrique.
Second line is Draisaitl. Great. Leon Draisaitl is incredible.
I will admit, best 1-2 punch in the league.
Easily.
Possibly in history.
Yeah. Victor Arvidsson on the right wing, who's been perennially injured his entire career.
Yeah.
Never played a full season.
Good luck getting more than 60 games out of him.
Yeah. Jeff Skinner, who I think his best season was maybe 30, 40 goals maybe. One time.
7 years ago.
When he was with Carolina maybe.
I don't even know.
And he's never made a playoff.
Nope.
Third line group is awful.
Maybe your third line group is maybe Dylan Holloway.
Maybe Dylan Holloway. Maybe
if he might be playing with Jordan Kyrou in a few months.
He might be, but then Adam Henrique. Nothing against Adam Henrique. Adam Henrique is a good player. I wanted us to trade for him last season.
But
he's old. And then fucking Corey Perry's on your third line. And he's fucking 40 years old.
That's what really gets me.
He's 40. Corey Perry's
I sent you
40 years old.
That's the title of the episode right there. Corey Perry is 40 years old.
What are you doing?
I know I sent you the post, but there was a lovely NHL offseason post talking about the oldest teams in the league.
It's the Edmonton Oilers, number one.
Yeah, but I think you
would think the Penguins were.
Exactly. We both thought the Penguins probably, right? And it's funny because to bring it back to our team, this is a Golden Knights podcast.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
For a while, I kind of felt like it seemed like we were getting a little too old, a little too quick.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hated some of these offseason moves, we are now the 10th youngest league in the team. It's right in the middle.
I'll take it. Yep.
Especially considering that Jack Eichel and Noah Hanifin are 28 years old.
Yeah.
And Tomas Hertl.
But the Oilers are the oldest team in the league. Corey Perry's on your third line as your winger.
Yeah, that's fucking embarrassing.
And then
this fourth line
is fucking horrendous.
I have to believe that Yamark jumps up one way or the other because he is too good to be playing with fucking Derek Ryan and Connor Brown. And people are like, well, Connor Brown had a good playoffs. I'm like, yeah, because he's 39 years old and he thought he might win a cup. I don't know how old he is. That was a guess. But
Derek Ryan is old. Connor Brown is older.
Connor Brown had one goal in the entire fucking regular season.
One goal overall. Yeah. It was one goal the entire season.
Click on his little jersey. Let's see his shit. Sorry, Connor. You had 4 goals and you're only 30. But goddamn, I'm pretty sure we went through a pretty large stretch of the regular season with him having only 1 under his belt. Well, he had 0 for quite a while.
A long time.
And then 1 for quite a while. Potted 3 more. Good for him. True sign of a good depth guy and a true contender right there.
Like, I just don't like this team is just like not good. Like, yeah, Connor McDavid is the best hockey player in the league. Like, best hockey player probably ever. I don't deny that. Connor McDavid's incredible. Leon Draisaitl's incredible. But like,
and I know we talked about it a lot at the beginning of the episode, but I cannot emphasize how fucking bad this team will be if they lose Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, or even just one of them.
Without Philip Broberg, this defense is fucking awful. Like, Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard.
Good.
Great.
There you go.
Great.
Great.
There you go.
Good pairing. Good pairing.
Then you got Darnell Nurse, and then probably
Cody Ceci. Awful.
And then Britt Kulak in a fucking AHL.
That's it. Brute Kallick, and I literally don't even know who.
Because Vinny DeHarnay went to fucking Vancouver.
Yeah.
This defense is bad. With full Philip Broberg, this defense is bad.
It's bad as is, and it's about to get a whole lot fucking worse.
Without him, because St. Louis offered him like what, 4 and change, I think,
like 4.2, I think.
They're not going to be able to offer that.
They're already $300,000 over the cap. They're already over the cap,
even with
and they need to accommodate $4 million.
Yeah. And then if you're able to accommodate both Holloway and Broberg, you're losing Kulak and Ceci. Who are you putting in?
Yeah, and not that they're good, but like exactly,
it's better than fucking AHL guys.
Exactly. Who do you bring in at that point? It's gonna have to be someone on a 2-way deal if you want to afford it.
Yeah. I just don't know what to say. Like, that's my hot take. I did steal a little bit from Dan on Empty Netters, but like, he made a good point. It's like, where do you go after your top 4 guy? I wouldn't even call Nugent Hopkins a top 4 guy. I would say it's McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, and that's it.
Yeah, maybe one of Skinner or Arvidsson, maybe.
I would put Nugent Hopkins over both of them.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I certainly feel validated.
Dan made a good point. Was like, oh, everybody was like, oh yeah, they made good moves. Like, Jeff Jackson made great moves, and then you actually look at this team on paper, like, oh man, this is not a good team.
It's not, and it's funny because, and I should put a little disclaimer here. I try not to define myself by my hatred of my rivals, right? But that being said, there was a lot of hype around Edmonton this year. You know, they were so bad in the beginning, but then they came together and they rattled off
Corey Perry's
16 in a row.
Corey Perry and Annenbrink aren't playing.
These are depreciating assets, bro.
Like, Derek Ryan's not playing an 82 game season. No. Connor Brand's not playing 82 games. Matthias Janmark's not playing 82 games. We saw Matthias Janmark in fucking Bakersfield 2 years, not even 2 years ago, a year ago.
Exactly.
He was playing with the fucking Condors.
Yeah, I snuck a selfie with him off the fucking bench because. You know, I was there for Henderson for our fucking cheap local
AHL
game.
Yeah, like they're gonna have to move at minimum 2 defensemen to retain one of these players. And Holloway, Broberg. Holloway should be the one that you retain because he's younger and he's got so much skill and so much potential.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I meant earlier. I'm like, is it that clear though? Because you moved Broberg, who was a first-round pick. He's only 23.
And he played very well in the playoffs.
He
did a good job.
Defensemen take a little longer to develop. And you get rid of him, and what do you have left? You know, like
nothing. Like, the defense in fucking you're literally dipping into the defense that you were in with Bakersfield. That was not good.
And it's funny because
Henderson's overnights were beating that defense consistently every night we watched them.
When we were talking about our team, you know, what did I say? I said, if we want it, and it's your hot take as well, if we want to get stronger up front, we have plenty of defensemen to...
We're 8 deep, 9 deep.
We have plenty of defensemen to use as chips. They not only do they have none to use as chips, they're about to go in the hole even further. They're not even. They're going in the hole.
In order for someone to take Brett Kulak or Cody Ceci, they're going to have to move... I think it was a article today. I think you sent that to me, where they have to move a first or a second round pick to move either of those contracts.
So they're about to what little capital they have. They're going to have to pay it to move these contracts.
I doubt any Edmonton fans are listening to this podcast because it's, Golden Knights dedicated, but welcome to fucking the Stan Bowman experiment. This is fucking day one of the fucking disaster. Like,
God bless, brothers.
Have fun,
bless.
Have fun, guys. Jeff Jackson fucking made some good deals, but Stan Bowman's about to fucking sewer this team.
And like I said, those Jeff Jackson deals, the Skinner, the Arvidsson, I don't know what I guess I just wasn't thinking hard in the summertime, but for some reason I was thinking like, oh yeah, on your third line, that's an insanely deep team. No, that's their second.
That's their second line.
Yeah, like, and especially if they lose Holloway, and then you're like, oh well, they must have a good 3C to anchor. No, it's fucking Adam Henrique. It's Adam Henrique.
Adam Henrique's on the back end of his career, like, and then your fourth line's gonna be
literally
Derek Ryan.
3/4 of this team is on the back. We're talking
Corey
about,
Perry's 40.
We're talking about it earlier, like we're joking about like, oh, how bad fucking Pittsburgh is and how they must be like the oldest. No, they're not even the oldest team. This is the oldest team. Yeah, shit, man. I'm on board. I'm on board for this hot take.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. We're gonna do our season previews, and I'm sticking to this.
I just don't.
Fourth, fifth.
I just don't see, like, I could
87
see them,
points.
I could honestly see them making the playoffs because of how weak LA got. You know what I mean? LA's got weaker. Everybody in the Pacific got weaker.
Yeah,
easily, but we didn't get as weaker as people think we did. If that makes sense.
No, exactly. And
Edmonton and
again,
then Vancouver, got a little weaker, but they still retained some good depth. If that makes sense.
This is me sounding like a crazy old man, but again, the mainstream media, they don't know shit about Vegas. They don't know about who we let go or why. They just see the big name and go, "Oh, geez, how bad are they gonna fucking suck?" It's so crazy. It's like only a few short months after we acquired Hannafin and Hurdle, and people have already forgotten that it happened.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, the Pacific has really opened up to like where it's like no longer like a giant gap between like third and fourth or
new
fourth.
hot take: Vegas first in the Pacific. Book it.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, we'll get into our division previews. I think we're going to start with Eastern Conference over the next month. I think we'll go, division by division for the next month until training camp starts. And I mean, the Pacific got noticeably weaker. I think everybody in the top end got weaker versus like the bottom end, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, looking at this team, I'm like, yeah, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are great. But like this team, the rest of the team is fucking terrible.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, folks, it's been quite the evening.
Fun evening.
Some over-unders.
Probably our craziest one yet.
But yeah, it was fun, and that's what this podcast is all about. I find often that the fan experience is about having a few brewskis and talking shit.
Fan experience is the funnest part. And in the meantime, stay gold.
Stay gold.